Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea. Hope everyone's good. This is a video just based around a few bits of information that I wanted to clear up because I've been getting quite a lot of questions about it recently, and I just thought before this, I suppose blows up into something, whatever that might be, why not just make a quick video about it and clear it up? Because I keep getting asked about Toska and Dorje and, what's going on, like why are you doing a band without Rob, or are you guys falling out, or is this some sort of elaborate plan to get rid of Rob? And, I guess I just need to tell you guys why there is two bands. In a nutshell, me, Dave and Ben have known each other since we were about 17. I met Dave at Leeds College of Music. When I left school, we went to music college. I met Dave there. We got along straight away. We both loved Extreme, both loved Incubus, both loved funk and rock, and we started jamming loads. And then coincidentally, I met Ben through our old singer. We had a drummer at the time in the band Chasing Jade we were in. We got Dave to join, and then it was me, Dave, Charlie, and a different drummer. And then I happened to meet Ben, and I knew he played drums, but I didn't know he was, as good as he was. So we just randomly got in a room and started jamming together, and it was like just chemistry straight away. Both of us loved that groovy, funky stuff, and it was just an amazing mixture of sound that we both really enjoyed. So we were like, well, let's be in a band together. So then me, Dave, Ben and Charlie then started Chasing Jade, and that was back in 2005, 2004, and we've been playing music together since then, and we jam loads, we jam all sorts of stuff, write music, travel, we did everything together. We moved into a house together and we lived in that house and worked full time and tried to fund the band and do that whole thing for like 4 years. I worked in debt collection, Ben was selling doormats, Dave was tagging doormats in a warehouse, and Charlie, our old singer, was working in a call centre. And so the whole thing was based around making the band work. And it wasn't until 2010 when Ben was like, you know what, I'm ready to sack this off. I can't be bothered working full-time anymore. I don't want to work full-time anymore. I want to go and get a degree, because none of us had gone to university. Well, Ben had gone to Cambridge and then dropped out to pursue the band. So this is 4 years down the line. So he was like, I want to go and get a degree in music. I want to join ACM and meet some people. So we were all, at the risk of losing the band, we were all like, okay, cool, well, let's all do it. So we all moved down south together to ACM, purely and simply to meet people and network. Going to ACM was cool. It was cool to be around other guitarists and musicians, but the whole point of going there was to, I suppose, give us 3 years course time of free time, because you're not in college every day, but also to help us sort of gain and meet contacts. So we all moved down together in 2010 into a house, and we carried on. We started writing music again and going to ACM. Unfortunately, our singer got really ill, and that eventually led to him leaving the band. But me, Dave and Ben knew that we were going to stick together through the thick and the thin, because we'd been through so much at this point. We'd been through nearly a decade of stuff together. So we were like, well, of course we're going to carry on. And it was just coincidental that I met Rob at a pub and wanted to jam with him, and then that turned into Dorje, and then we started working together, and Rob found himself, me, Ben and Dave. It was, it was kind of meant to be in that sense. We all just drilled really well together and started jamming music. And the main point is that we get on so well. Me, Rob, Ben and Dave all have similarities in our personalities. We bounce off each other. We love writing music together and having fun. So then fast forward a few years after ACM, we moved to Brighton, and we moved down there, and it was great. And we were all trying to then work out how to go from being students to living and working full time on our goals and be self-employed. So like from 2013, for a year at least, no one was really doing anything other than focusing on building themselves up to be able to be self-employed and survive. And so everything stopped. Dorje stopped doing anything. Rob was, he'd had a divorce, and he was like moving across to Brighton and trying to reshape his life. Me, Ben and Dave were trying to make a living. Ben was working on musicism, I was working on my own stuff. And yeah, it just took a long time. So everything went on hiatus, and I got kind of cabin fevery about it. And then I was like, I want to do this again. I want to do a band. But we'd done Toesland, and that kind of happened and then didn't happen because, it wasn't financially viable, and it wasn't really our kind of music. It was great being in Tozeland, but the music just wasn't there for us. And I spent so long away from writing the kind of music that I love, which is heavy, progressive, ambient music. You know, if you hear some of the old Chasing Jade material, you can hear the birth of where Toska comes from. And I'm that way out. You know, I love Incubus, I love Carnival, I love Tool, so does Ben and Dave. You know, we all grew up listening to the same bands. The reason I'm telling you that whole backstory is simply because Dorje is immense and we love it, and it really resonates with me because it's the guitar-y, kind of leady, riffy stuff that I love, like the Extreme, the Philip Sace, you know, Joe Satriani, you know, like all the stoner bands and grunge bands from, you know, like everything. I grew up on all kinds of music, and Dorje appeals to so much of that. But there was something very obviously wrong in my head, which was that I wasn't able to express every avenue of my musical, I suppose, output or influences. And so I was really struggling. The original idea for me at that point was to actually find a new band, just to go off and find some new musicians and just start writing other stuff, because there was no activity going on with the bands we were in currently. Toska didn't exist. Dorje was on hiatus because we were all trying to make a living. And I was sick of, I just needed to play some music. So I was going to go find new musicians. And I figured out of courtesy that I would tell everyone. So I, you know, met up with the guys and I said, look, this is what I want to do. And they were like, well, we want to do it too. So we decided to start Toska. And then I said at that point, it's really important that we give enough energy and time to both bands, because it's not fair on Dorje or Rob if we just jump into Toska, start writing this music and then leave Dorje behind. You know, it has to be both. So we made an agreement there and then that we would only do Toska if we did Dorje as well, because we all wanted to, and it seemed, you know, fair. So at that point, everything kicked off. You know, we started writing Toska music, we started writing more Dorje, then Centered in One got finished, and then Ode to the Author got finished, and then everything started kicking off and momentum started going. And then that's when the questions started happening about what's going on, why is Toska the same guys but without Rob, what's going on here? So that's the answer. The reason is that I love writing so much different kind of modern rock, progressive rock, metal and guitar solos and riff rock that you can't put that all into one band. I guess you could, but I much prefer having a band with a singer and riffs and songs, you know, like that aren't 10 minutes long. But I also love getting lost in the world of progressive music and ambience and all this kind of crazy stuff. And so it's really important to exercise both of those influences for me personally. So yeah, that's the reason, you know, it's to write more than just one sort of style of music for me. And I think the same for Ben and Dave. And we had chats with Rob and we sat down as a band and talked about it, and Rob's totally cool with it. He's in full support and he loves the band and loves what Toska are doing as much as he loves Dorje and what Dorje are doing, and he's also got his solo stuff, and everyone's happy. And so I don't understand, none of us really understand why there is this kind of someone should be annoyed about it situation going on. Like, why can't you have two bands? You know, at the end of the day, I like the idea that I have two bands that I'm in that do different stuff. I think it's really cool, and I don't want to stop doing either of them. And just to bring you up to speed, Toska's nearly finished writing its second EP. We're one track away. Dorje had a band practice last week after Rob's baby hiatus, because he's been away from band stuff for the last 4 or 5 months because he's had Theo. So we got in a room, we started writing, and we've actually got enough material to start recording the album. We need to finish writing a couple of tunes, but we've got an album's worth of new material with Dorje. So there's nothing going wrong, everything's going right. It's just there's a lot of stuff happening, everyone's really busy, but we all want to pursue these musical dreams of ours. And so this is me saying to everybody that's asked the question, Dorje is Dorje, Toska is Toska. They don't cross over, they both run parallel. When one's doing a lot of activity, the other one doesn't, and vice versa. And it works out really well because we use the same booking agent and he knows when and where we can play and who's playing. So in a nutshell, there is no bad blood between us and Rob and Dorje and Toska and everything like that. It's all good. And I'm really glad that people like both bands, and it really makes me happy and humbled that that's even a possibility, that I can write in two bands, release music and have people enjoy both. So that's thanks to you guys. So I really do appreciate every single one of you that supports both bands, and this is not going to stop. It's going to carry on going and carry on going, and I really, really hope that those people that maybe felt a bit uneasy about it or didn't see the point that this has cleared it up for you, and that's the whole point of this video. So if there's any more questions around Dorje and Toska, please put them in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer them, but hopefully that's cleared it up for you. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Hope it helped. Please like, subscribe and share, and I'll catch you all very soon.